Assalamualaikum to my precious lecturer, Encik Muhammad Zaki bin Yahya. My name is NURFARAHIN IZZATI BINTI Harus FADZILAH, and my metric number is 01DKM20F2041. Today I will present with my partner Muhammad Haikal bin Muhammad Zubir as a presenter number 2 with metric number 01DKM20F2037. Before we go further, let me ask you some of questions. Have you ever noticed how far automobile technology has come? For your information, the automobile sector is the most open to the new technologies. Besides, technology has already changed how fuel is used in automobiles with hybrid, plug-in hybrid and electric power system beginning to replace internal combustion engine and gas-fueled engine as the future primary propulsion system. Now, we are going to present a graph that is a combination between a line and a bar graph. As you can see, at the top of the graph, there is a title of the graph about the new US vehicle sales by technology types from 1999 to 2020. And this graph is taken from the Clean Technica website. Before continuing, let's refer to the graph. The left of the y-axis for the bar graph present the number of new vehicle sales in thousand, while on the other side is for line graph present the number of new vehicle sales in million. Besides, you can see at the bottom of the graph is the horizontal axis, show the calendar of the year from 1999 to 2020. The legend here show the types of vehicle technology. Green bar is for hybrid, blue bar is for plug-in hybrid, yellow bar is for all electric, while red line is for conventional technology. From our observation, our graph reflects a fluctuating trend for the entire year. Okay, I will describe the hybrid and plug-in hybrid graph. Hybrid vehicles supplement the internal combustion engine with electrical power produced by an on-board electric motor, while plug-in hybrid vehicles have a larger battery than hybrid vehicles and is charged by plugging into an electric outlet. Now, let's refer to the hybrid graph. The number of new vehicles for hybrid technology reached a peak of around 500,000 in 2013, while the number of sales for hybrid vehicles reached a minimum data around 10,000 in 2000. You can see here, there is a similar point around 375,000 in the number of hybrid vehicle sales between 2015 and 2019. In addition, there was a comparable data around 210,000 between the hybrid vehicle sales in 2005 and all electric vehicle sales in 2018. Besides, there was an interesting data in the number of hybrid sales, whereby it increased sharply around 10,000 to 350,000 between 2000 to 2007 and continued with a moderate decrease until 2011. From 2011, there was a significant jump in sales for 3 years. We can see here, there is a huge difference in sales of hybrid technology throughout the year. Last but not least, there is a difference between the total sales of hybrid vehicles for the first 10 years and the last 10 years around 2,040,000. Now, let's move to plug-in hybrid graph. As you can see, the maximum data for plug-in hybrid sales reached around 125,000 in 2018, while in 2011, the number of plug-in hybrid sales showed the lowest data around 15,000. In 2013, the number of sales showed aching data around 50,000 between plug-in hybrid and all-electric graph. After plug-in hybrid was launched, there was a slight increase of around 35,000 between 2011 to 2014. In addition, there was a slight decline in the number of new vehicle sales in 2015 and it continued with a steady increase over 3 years. For important data, starting from 2011, there was no sale exceeding 100,000 until 7 first years. Finally, the difference between the total sales from 2011 to 2015 and 2016 to 2020 is around 275,000. From the data, it can be concluded that the number of sales between hybrid and plug-in hybrid vehicles fluctuated for whole years. This might be because of quite difference in the price and lacks of awareness related to the benefit of the use of hybrid technology to society. It is recommended that lowering the price and explaining the advantages of hybrid technology will give awareness to the public while increase sales of both technologies. That's marked the end of my presentation. Now I will pass it to my partner to continue our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you Farah for her explanation. Now we're moving on with other two graphs. Firstly, my name is Haikal Zubir, and I will talking about the conventional and all-electric vehicle. Conventional is the first substitution technology after the era of horse car. This that are followed up by the all-electric technology after the several years of development. Here, we have the line graph for the conventional and bar graph for the all-electric. Both graphs are measured by the year from 1999 to year 2020. Before we go in detail of the graph, we can see that both graphs have their upward and downward movement, which I will explain later. As you can see, on the graph, yellow bar graph represents the all-electric graph and the line graph represents the conventional. Before that, the all-electric graph starts at the middle of the year compared to the conventional where it starts at the early of the year. To start the graph, we will look into the all-electric graph, which is the climax of the graph sales. The climax of the graph sale reached at the 240,000 at the year 2020, whereby it reached the highest sale throughout the 10 years of selling. Then, the lowest point of all-electric sale in 2011 is around 10,000 of sale as it is registered as a new technology. From the graph, in 3 years of sale from 2013 to 2018, the sale of all-electric vehicle is accelerated quickly. Then, a sudden leap of 100,000 of sale in 2018. Moving on to the conventional, the highest point on conventional reached a peak of 17 million sales in early 2000. Meanwhile, the lowest sale for the conventional reached a total drop of 9 million in 2009. Next, there are similar data within the 30 years. In 2008 and 2012, there was a similarity of sales for 30 million in conventional vehicle sales. In the graph, we can see that there was a sudden downward movement. Conventional vehicle sales fell drastically around 6 million from 2007 to 2009. However, the sales then considerably improved to a stable pace until the year 2019. But the sale comes to the end with a drastic fall to almost 12 million of sale in 2020. By observing the all-electric graph, what I found that quite interesting is we can see that in the early stage of the sale are climbing slowly, but then at the end of the year, sales are uprising until it exceeding 200,000 of sales. But for the conventional graph, sale at the early 2000 exceeded 16 million, then dropped sharply at the middle of the year, but it increased until the bill 30 million. The difference between two graphs is the number of sales in conventional is considerably higher than in the sale of the all-electric in million. To sum up my presentation, we can see that the sale in conventional vehicle is higher than the all-electric. But by following the graph, all-electric vehicles slowly catch up and eventually will be compatible with conventional. I personally think that the people are accepting the benefit of using all-electric as it does not pollute the environment. However, for the conventional, the sale won't drop much as all-electric vehicle as it is expensive to buy. People are still using the conventional as their main and will change to all-electric eventually. Based on the point given by both of us, what can I conclude is the total of car sale entirely increased within 20 years. We can see that the sale for the each graph has a good increase in certain year that push the sale at a high point. Then, the sale of conventional is nowhere to be compared with other three graphs, as the total number of sale for hybrid, plug hybrid and all-electric is 10 times with conventional. That's all from us, thank you.
But that's never enough.